stop at closure, isn't it?
Yes, interior of.
And with what do you mean by closure?
Closure of the set is the intersection of all closed sets that contains that set.
We stop at closure of the set, isn't it? Now, and when I was putting one of the proposition, one of the results, I use another definition. Let me give you that definition here. Then I go to dense. Let S be a topological space. Right? And A be a subset of S. Right? An element S in A is said to be a closure of A if what there is an open set G. There is an open set such that what G intersection A is not empty. This is another definition of a closed set. So actually I have started from general topology, from definition of topology to closure. So I just want to continue from closure today. Do you get my point? Because I'm seeing some new faces like, what are we doing? So I'm just giving another definition of
That contains S.
yes. So G intersection A is not empty. Do you get my point now? So now, what is now dense? Let me tell you something. If you are given two sets A and B, if you are given two sets A and B, right? You say that A is dense in B if the closure of A is fully contained in B. Do you get? If S, let S be the whole space, if S is a topological space, and A and B are subset of X, are you getting my point? And A and B are subset of X, then we see that A is dense in B if this one, the closure of A is inside the group. But we say A is dense in S if what? The closure of A is equal to what? Why?
Because A is a subset of
It's already a solution of X, yes, and it's an open set.
Well, it's okay. Definition. Let's go to the next conclusion. I'll still tell you why. Dense rather. Let S be a topological space. Let S be a topological space, right? And A be inside X. Do you get that? And A is inside X. This is what I mean to write. And A is inside X. Right? So now, A is said to be dense. A is said to be dense in S if what? The interior of A, the closure of A is equal to X. Now, I was saying something here before. I said that A and B, when you have A and B, you say A is dense in B if B is inside the closure of A. Do you get that? So, similarly, you say A is dense in S. Do you know? If S is inside the closure of what? A. But S is the whole set itself, the space. Do you understand? S is the whole space. So by definition, the closure of A will actually be in S. So we will not say A is the closure of X. Is dense in S if S is inside the closure of A. So because the closure of A is inside X and S is inside A, then they now say A is dense in S if and only if the closure of A is equal to X. Do you get that?
No, can you please?
I say if you have to set A and B, A is said to be dense. A is said to be dense in B. If when you take this B, it's inside, it's fully contained the closure of A. Do you get that? Then we say it is dense. Then we say A is dense in B. Do you get that? But if you are talking about the whole space, A is dense in S. Like from what I've given you here, A is dense in S. If S is fully contained in the closure of A. Do you get that? But we know that S is the whole space. The closure of A is already inside X because everything we are talking about is inside the whole space. So because the what's it called? Closure of A is already inside X, and from the condition of dense, S is also inside A, it means that they are equal. That's why dense we say that A is dense if and only if the closure of A is equal to X. Now the next definition, or let me see what we have next. We have proposition.
Sorry. That closure definition. I want you to show those three, there's four the properties under closure. C, A, union B is equal to the closure of A, union closure of B. I want you to use definition to show.
You can use it to show it. Yes. You can use it to show it, and the one we did the other time you can use to show it. Now, proposition A is dense in X if and only if A meets every non-empty open set in X. Every non-empty open set in X. So we want to do this one. Now see, A is dense in S if and only if what? A means every non-empty open set in X, isn't it? So that means we first assume that A is dense in X. We will now prove that A means every non-empty open set in X. Do you get that? Then we can now do conversely again that assume A means every non-empty open set in X. We will now prove that A is dense. Do you get that? So now let A be dense in X. What does that mean? It means that the closure of A belongs to X, isn't it? And what does that mean? It means that every element of X, right? Every element in the space is also an element, isn't it? Every element in the space, it will also be in what? It will also be in the closure of A, right? So, if you take, let G be open. Do you understand? Let G be open in S. Do you understand? Let G be an open set in the whole space. Are you getting my point? See what we have, see what I'm trying to do. We know that this one, every element in the whole space is also in the interior and it's also in the enclosure, right? Because it is dense. Do you understand? So I want to let G be an open set in S. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Containing S. Containing S. Now, from the definition of closure, what will happen? It means that G intersection A is not what? Isn't it? Right? Yeah, true. So, you can see A must meet every non-empty open set in X. See, G cannot be empty. They say let G be open in S, containing S. Why did I say containing S? To show that it's not empty. Do you understand? So, since it's not empty, from the definition of what's called closure, S will belong to the closure if what? There is an open set such that G intersection A is not empty. And because it's not empty, that means that, see, if the intersection is not empty, that means they have elements in common. Do you understand? Like, you know, when you draw a Venn diagram, you will draw if this is G, and you want to say that the intersection is not empty, that means there is something here, isn't it? Do you understand? That means G and A meet each other. Do you understand? Because if G and A do not meet each other, the intersection will be empty. So from there, A is dense in X if and only if A meets every non-empty open set in X. Do you get that? So for A to meet every non-empty open set in X, it means that their intersection is not empty. Do you get that now? So from here we have proved that from A to be dense, then A is dense. Every non-empty open set is with the intersection of A is not empty. That means they meet each other. Do you understand? That's why we say we are done with the first part. Now, to prove the converse, just write from down up. Do you get that? That is, you say let A meet every non-empty open set in X. So that means you will take G to be non-empty and it meets A. That means the intersection is not empty. And if you have something like this and G is open, that means if S is G, S will also belong to the what? This one. Do you understand? And since G is an arbitrary open set in X, it takes any value of the space. Like since G is an arbitrary open set in X, that means the element also in G is arbitrary in the whole set. Do you get that? That means it's arbitrary in the whole set. And if it's arbitrary in the whole set and it's also in the interior, then that means it's also in the closure. That means they are equal. So instead of writing all these things from down to up, we just do this way. Yes. That's it. That's the middle of if and only if. That means from up to down and from down to up.
Now we do this one.
Yes.
How did I learn?
No, it's different. Do it for one.
I said it's making sense. Your own is not making sense. You get stuff that does not make sense.
The next thing we want want to define limit point now. Again, let S be a topological space. And let A be a subset of the space. Right? S, at times the limit point of a set will not actually be inside the set, but it will be inside the space. Now, S in S, right, is said to be the limit point. Is said to be the limit point of A if now another, you know another name for limit point, right? Accumulation point, cluster point. If, see, let me tell you what it means. If for all open set, you understand? For every open set containing this X, right? What happens is that for every open set containing this X, if you take G, if you take that open set, but you remove that X, do you get that? And you now take it intersection A. I will explain what this means. It is not empty. So, let me tell you, let me use limits to describe this for you. You know, if we take limits as n goes to infinity of n over n plus 1. Look at what I'm trying to do here. If we take limit as n goes to infinity of n over n plus 1, the answer will be actually 1. You get that? Even if you use calculator, just divide by the highest power, you see that the answer will be 1. Right? So, actually, what I'm trying to say is that 1 is, if you take a set A to be equal to n over n plus 1, such that n is coming from natural number. I am now told to find the limit point of this set. Right? One of the limit points of this set is 1. Do you get that? The limit of a set or of a sequence, the limit itself is also a limit point. So what do we mean? If we go to 1, like let's say on the normal line, this is 1, right? As n is getting larger, like let's say 4 over 5 is what? 4 over 5 is 0.8. 0.8 will be somewhere here. If you go to n to be 5 over 6, if you press 5 over 6, go to 9 for instance. 9 over 10 is what? 0.9, you see, it's getting closer. Do you get that? Go to 99. 99 over 100, 0.99. Do you understand? Go to 999. 999 over 1000, 0.999. Like it's getting closer and closer to 1. 1 is the limit point because if you take an open set here, like, and you now say, okay, let's take away 1, there will be like all these other ones that would have cluster around it. Do you get? And all those one are element of A because it's n over n plus 1. And then I'm saying when n is 9, 9 over 10 is 0.9. When n is 999, 999 over 1000 is 0.999. Do you get that? They are element of A. So my point is, even if you remove 1 in particular, there will still be 0.999999 that is also in this place. Do you understand? That's what they mean. That is, if you remove that limit point itself, that is, let's say for instance, it's what I'm using to explain. If you remove the limit 1, the point 1 from it, and you take an open set inside, there will still be other element of this 1 inside the small open set. Do you understand? Yes. So how do you write it mathematically? It means that if you take the open set, an open set, to show that there is an element of A inside it, aside from the limit point, just take away, that means if you take the open set and you take away the limit point, and you take the intersection, it's not empty. Do you understand?
Is it that n is said to be the limit point or a limit point?
A. It's said to be a limit point of X if for every open set containing X, the intersection excluding X, that is removing X, is not empty.
This means that we can have plenty limit points.
Yes.
More than one.
Yes. Yes. So that's what. So we can have more than one limit point. Do you get that? Like I can give you another example now. Take for instance B minus 1 raised to power n. Minus 1 raised to power n. That's two limit points. Minus 1 and 1. Because there are many. When n is even, you have 1, and you have plenty 1 like that because this one is like a sequence. If you say n is in n. When n is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. When n is odd, you have minus 1. That's a limit point. When n is even, you have 1. Do you get that? You might have more than one limit point. So the set, if you now take all the whole limit points together and you put it as a set, the name of that set is called derived set.
Okay.
Do you understand? The set of all limit points is called derived set. Do you understand? Now, note. The set of all limit points is called the derived set, denoted by what? This is how they write it. Right? So now, proposition or proposition. Let S be a topological space. Right? A is closed if and only if A contains all its limit points. So now, let me tell you something. In reality, if they ask you, well, you should define a closed set. If you are going to define a closed set, there is actually two definitions. Number one definition is that A is said to be closed if the complement is open. That's one. So if you have defined a closed set with that, then the second definition will now be as like a theorem or a proposition. You will now prove that one. Do you understand? Okay, you don't understand. Listen. I said we have the definition of a closed set. Number one definition is that A is said to be closed if and only if A complement is open. You know that one. I have defined that one already.
If. So because we have been thinking it's just if before.
If A complement is open. Do you get that now? You know, I've given you the first definition. So the second definition, you know, if you have used that one to define a closed set, the second definition, you will not call it a definition again. You can call it a proposition or a theorem. But listen, but if you define the second one, then that A complement is open will now be a proposition. Now the second definition is that A is said to be closed if it contains all its limit points. Do you get that? So if I'm told to define a closed set now, I can say A is said to be closed if and only if the complement is open. If and only if the complement is open, or A is said to be closed if and only if it contains all its limit points. But so that's what this proposition is saying. Now, do you know what we want to prove here? We want to prove that
Is it if I'm looking at the first one?
First one. The first one is it if or if and only if? Right? Is it if and only if it's complement is open, or if it's complement is open? I'm not sure.
both of them can have if and only if. Yes. If I say A is closed, if and only if A complement is open, then that means that my definition of closed here is that it contains all its limit points. If I say A is closed if and only if it contains all its limit points, that means when I say it's closed, it means that the complement is open. Do you get that? That's serious. Let me show you. Let me show you. See now. I said that A is closed. Listen now. If and only let me use that one. That one I wrote here. A is closed if and only if A is closed if and only if A contains all its limit points. This one that I wrote A is closed. That means the definition of closed here is that A complement is open.
A complement is open if and only if.
Yes. Thank you very much. That's what we want to do now. Do you understand? Now, let A, right, be a closed set. Right? Are you getting it? We want to prove that what? A contains all its limit points. So this case, this time around, we want to prove by contradiction. Do you get that? So now, suppose for contradiction, that A does not contain all its limit points. You know, we want to show that it contains all its limit points, right? So we want to prove that by contradiction that suppose it does not contain all its limit points. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means that thank you very much. Let S be a limit point of A, right? Let S be a limit point of A. That means that S is not inside. Do you get that? Because that's our assumption that suppose for contradiction that A does not contain all its limit points. Now, when it means it does not contain all its limit points, take a limit point that is not inside A. Do you get that? What does that mean? It means that S will belong to its complement. Since it's not in A, that should be in the complement. Isn't it? And A is closed. Don't forget, A is closed. So A is closed. What does that mean? The complement is what? Right? Right?
Yes.
So, since A is closed and the complement is open, don't forget the definition of a limit point. What's the definition of a limit point? It means that every open set you have containing S. If you take the limit point excluding S intersection A, it is not what? Empty. Do you understand? So it means that the complement is open. Now, what follows? Since S is a limit point, since S is a limit point, right? And A complement is open. It means that I can take this A complement.
Minus x.
Thank you very much. A complement. In fact, A complement even contain x, isn't it? You know, for every open set containing x, and A complement is open and it contains x, isn't it? For every open set containing x, and I remove the x, isn't it? Intersection what? A. Intersection, don't forget I said this is said to be a limit point of A. And I said let S be a limit point of A. S is a limit point of A. So that means for every complement excluding x intersection A, it will not what? By definition of what? Limit point, isn't it? Now, let me write it again. A complement removing x intersection A is not empty. Now, this one, like remove, exclude. Yes. Okay. A is closed, isn't it? I said let A be a closed set, right? And if A is closed, it means that what? The complement is open. So since S is a limit point, right? In fact, limit point of A, and the complement of A is open. Don't forget, for every open set, like any open set you have containing x, that from definition of a limit point, the definition of a limit point says that if you take any open set and it contains x, if you take that open set and you remove that point x, no, it's what I have done for you before, and you remove that point x, if you take which will still contain some element of A. Do you get that? That means the intersection is not empty. So since A complement is open, do you get that? And S is inside the A complement. That means the open set I want to take now is A complement because it's open. And I remove S intersection A. It will not be empty because S is a limit point, isn't it? From the function of a limit point of A. So this I write it here now. A complement removing the X. Intersection A is not what? Empty. Now, look at it. S is an A complement, isn't it? I have removed it. I have removed the S, isn't it? And A itself, S is not here, but it's not empty. So it means that A complement intersection A is not what? Isn't it? How is this possible? How can a set intersection its complement? It should be not be empty. It should be empty. A set intersection its complement does not have anything in common, isn't it? What's the complement of a set? The set that the element that is in the universal set that is not in the set, isn't it? So the intersection can never be non-empty. That should be empty, but in this case, it's empty. So
that is not closed.
So therefore, before God and man, the assumption is trivially wrong. Do you understand? Which is what? Or you just say we arrive at a contradiction. Do you understand? Which is absurd because a set intersection its complement is supposed to be empty. Do you understand?
Yes.
So that means our assumption is wrong. That means our assumption is wrong. So therefore, right, A contains all its limit points.
What you put by convention, can't you put by more than
Eh?
then you say it's supposed by contradiction. You don't go for why you
How? Hey now. So think of it actually. Conversely. What is conversely? Thank you. Conversely, suppose A contains all its limit points. You want to prove that A is closed. Do you understand? Suppose A contain all its limit points we want to prove that A is closed. And to prove that A is closed, what do we prove, please? A complement is what? Is open. And how do you prove that A complement is open? How do you prove that something is open? Thank you very much. For every element in A complement, there is an open set. There is an open set, or every element of A complement is an interior point. Do you understand? That's the meaning of open. Every element of A complement is an interior point. And what's the meaning of an interior point? That is, there is an open set such that S should belong to that open set and it will be a subset of what? A complement. Do you understand? Now, see, if you want to prove that, A complement is open, let us define what open means. That is, let me show you what we want to prove. The definition of open means that for every since I want to prove that A complement is open, since it's A complement, I want to prove that it's open. It means that for every element in A complement, do you get that? There will always be an open set. Do you understand? There will always be an open set. So that S will be inside that open set. Do you get that? There will always be an open set such that S will be in that what? Will be in that open set, and that open set will be fully inside the set. But the set we are talking about here is what? A complement. Do you get that now? This is the definition of an open set. So now, I will now say let S be A complement. Let S be A complement. I want to prove that I will find an open set that will contain S so that S should be inside G and it will be a subset of what? A complement. So if S is inside A complement, what does that mean? That means S should not be in A. Since S belongs to the complement, isn't it? That means S should not be in A. Right? If S is not in A, don't forget, conversely, suppose A contains all its what? Limit points. Thank you very much. A contains all its limit points, but S is not in A. That means S is not a limit point of what? A. So it means that S is not a limit point. From the definition of what's it called? Of a limit point. The definition of a limit point says that for every open set containing X, that if you remove this one, if you take G excluding X, intersection A to be what? Empty. So because S is not a limit point of A, it means that there will exist. It means that there exists, right, an open set G that is containing X. So that's why we write S. That is a particular open set. You know the definition says for every open set. That means if you can find one, that means it's no more a it's no more a limit point. For X to be a limit point, it means for all kinds of open sets you have containing X, this thing must hold. But if you say it's no longer a limit point, that means, or if you want to verify that a point is not a limit point, just find one open set that S is inside. Do you get that? Just find one open set that S is inside, and this thing does not hold. That means S is not a limit point. So that means for proof that X is not a limit point, there exists an open set that contains X. There exists an open set. Do you understand? And S is inside an open set, and S is there. S is inside that open set. such that what? Such that G, if you remove that X, intersection A, it will be what? Empty. Because it's not an open set. It's not a limit point. Thank you. Right? So, to finish, so from here, I've removed what's it called? S from this one, right? And I've removed S is not even in A, isn't it? S is not even in A, so it's empty. So what does that mean? S is not in GX, S is not in A, right? So that means that I can even say GX intersection A is still be empty. Do you understand? Why will it still be empty? Because what you think can be common. See, you know, you remove X from here and it's empty. Even if you add S to it, it will still be empty because normally S is in this one actually, but you are removing it. But S is not in A. S is not in A. Do you get that? Yes. Although S is in GX, but it's not in A. Do you get that? S is in GX, but it's not in A. So if you remove S from here and the intersection is empty, even if you add S to GS, do you get that? The intersection will still be empty because what you have just added is X and S is not in this one, so it's still empty. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So that means GS intersection A is empty. So if GS intersection A is empty, what does that mean? GS is inside the complement of A. Because if it's inside A, it will not be empty. So that means the whole of GS is a subset of the complement of A. Do you get that? Do you get that? Don't forget, S is a what? So S is in GS and it's inside what? We are true. S is inside an open set. Don't forget, GS is an open set. S is inside G and is fully contained A complement. Therefore, A complement is open, and that means A is what? Closed. Right? The next thing we want to do this one, so that the closure of A is equal to A union the what's it called? Limit, the derived set. Oh yeah, write fast, please. Write fast. So we want to prove this. Show that the what's it called closure of A is equal to A union A. What's it called? The limit of the limits or the derived set of A, right? Now, what do we prove? Let me tell you what we are going to prove. We will prove that A union A is equal to this, isn't it? And number 3, the second one will be that this one is inside A union what? Do you get that? You know, when you want to prove that two sets are equal, you show that one is inside the other one and the other one is inside the one, right? So, for the first one, we want to prove that A union, the derived set, is inside the what? Closure, right? How do we do this one? Listen. How do you prove that this one is a subset of this? You take an element here and show that it's inside here. Now, let S be in A union. If A is inside A union, the derived set of A. When they say A is in the union, it means that S belongs to A or S belongs to the derived set, isn't it? Yeah. Now, if S, let's say if S belongs to A now. If S belongs to A, right? Hello? If S belongs to A, what happened? Obviously, S belongs to A, and don't forget, A is inside. I've given you this one before, that A bar is the smallest closed set containing A, isn't it? Don't forget, I said that the interior point is the largest open set contained in A, and I said that the what's it called? Closure is the smallest closed set containing A, right? So if S is in A, obviously S is in A, and it's also a subset of this. That means that S belongs to the closure.
The A, is it closed?
A is closed. No, not necessary.
Because since A is not closed, then how are we sure that that A bar is containing A?
There is no condition as to A has to be closed before A is inside A complement, A interior. If A is closed,
Okay.
if A is closed, you have A to be equal to. If you check the last class, it is when A is closed, A is equal to the what's it called? The closure. Do you understand? So, but for any kind of for all what's it called? Elements, all sets rather, the A they are always contained inside their closure. Do you get that? So if S is in A, it means S is in A and it's a subset of A closure, which means that S is in A closure. If S is in A, that means I've shown that all this one is inside here. Now, if S is not in A but it's inside this one, if S, I don't want to say if S does not, it's not in A, but let's say if S is in this one, it's in the limit point. What does that mean? If S belongs to the derived set, from the definition of limit point, what does that mean? It means that what now? There is an open set, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
So that what? Thank you. G removing X, intersection A is not what? It's not empty. So even though if S is in A, what's it called? The derived set, and S is not in A. You know, if S belongs to this union, it means S is in A or S is in this one. Assuming, even assume that S is not in A, that it's just in this one. You know, this is what we are going to have. So if you remove S from here, obviously S is not in this one before. This one means that G, it means that G intersection A is not what? It's not empty. Right? Right? Go and check the first thing I wrote when I started this class. The definition of closure I wrote. What did I say? There is what? S in A is said to be what? The closure. If G intersection A is not what? Empty. So I have G intersection A is not empty. That means that. It's not empty. It means that S belongs to the closure because it's not empty.
Yeah. G minus the X and then A is not empty. Then I think A is not empty. But if X is in A union A bar,
if S is in A union A bar, and then
S can be either of the two of them.
yes, or even in two of them. Yes.
Now, we now say that if X is A bar, if X is A bar, that does not mean X is not the other one.
Yes.
It's possible that it's even here.
Yes.
Now, we now conclude and say that G is A is going to. What if X is in A?
What if S is in A? I'll remove S from this one. In fact, why the intersection is not empty is not because of X. I told you that I was explaining the other time that assuming 1 is there, that there are other points different from 1. So let's say G is 1 and 1 is in G.
Yes.
I've already removed that one safe.
Yes.
I've removed the 1 and I'm now taking the intersection with A. Even if there is 1 in A.
Yes.
Now
that we have added the 1 back, like the last line.
it will make it not to be more empty now. That means S will even be in the.
We have added the 1 back.
Yeah.
It's possible that the intercept will now be 1.
It's not empty.
Oh, not empty.
Right?
Yes.
Do you get it now?
Yes.
At least.
Right?
So, you are right.
So conversely, or that second case, we want to do II now, that is A bar is inside A union what is the right set. What do we do to this one now? You take S to be in the closure. We want to prove that S belongs to that one. Right? If S is in A, there's nothing to prove. Isn't it? If S is in A, there's nothing to prove. But if S is not in A, there's something to prove. Let S be in A bar. What does that mean? There is a G.
Yes.
Isn't it? That's an open set containing what? So that was G intersection A is not what? So what do we do now? There is a G containing X so that G intersection A is not empty. If it's not empty, what does that mean? They have something in common. Thank you. S is in G. See, you know they are not empty. S is in G, right? Right? And if S is in A, listen to what I'm saying. If now S is in G, isn't it? If S is in A too, in fact, the very more reason they are not empty. And if S is A, that means S will be inside J. If S is not in A, do you understand? If no, I'm sorry, I'm coming. If S is in A, we are true. The proof is trivial. Right?
Yeah.
Now, let S not be in A. Do you get that? Don't forget, if S is not in A, but S is in the what's it called? Closure. It means that G intersection A is not empty, right? Because it's in the closure, isn't it? I've just written what I've written here back. But now, since S is not in A, that means the intersection does not contain X.
Yes.
Isn't it? So even if I remove S from G, the intersection will not still be empty. Because at first, why the intersection is not empty is not because of X. It's not because S is there. Because S is not even in A. So the intersection can never contain X. Do you get that? But yet it's not empty. That means even if you remove S from here, before, the intersection of X is not there before. So that means it will not still be empty. So since G removing S, intersection A is not empty, it means S is a limit point. Yes, now the definition of a limit point, G removing X, intersection A is not empty. It means that S is a limit point. So that means it belongs there. Therefore, it's inside
I don't understand those two conditions. Like you said, let X not belong to A.
the point you don't get.
When X belongs to A, what?
If I don't want to talk about this, I could have started and said without losing the reality. Let S not belong to A. Because this one, if S is in A, that means if S is in A,
G intercepts.
it's obviously inside this one now, isn't it? And I said let S be in A closure. So we are done with the proof. That means this one is inside A, your A, this, isn't it? Do you get that? But if S is not in A, what we have to do? So if S is not in A, this is what we have to do. It's here. So now,
This is not because it's a battery though.